My first impression of Taiwan is when I arrived, I noticed how clean everything was, how easy it was to travel, and also how friendly the Taiwanese people are. Originally, when I came to Taiwan on my exchange during my undergraduate, I enjoyed the people and my department so much that I decided to apply for the master's degree here as well. I chose Yuan University because of how close it is to Taipei, but also because a lot of the classes transferred back to my college. I also really enjoyed in my department the professors, the office staff, and it allowed me to become a better teacher. The Global Affairs Office does a great job of providing events for international students to allow them to learn more about Taiwan culture and also make friends with Taiwanese students. There are many benefits of studying abroad. You learn a new language, you step out of your comfort zone, and also you get to experience new culture. Specifically in Taiwan, learning a new language in a safe environment makes it for a friendly and peaceful time. I would love to stay in Taiwan after graduation, whether it be to teach at the college level or open a business of some type. Taiwan is easy to get around and the standard of living is very high. We welcome you to study in Taiwan. 欢迎来台湾读书。
Hello everyone, we are a student from Yuan University and my name is Ben. I'm studying an English Bachelor of Business Administration program.
My name is Pear and I also study in EBBA program.
My name is Jean. I'm studying International Business. Today we're going to show you around Yuan University. Let's go!
Go! Now we are at Hen-Yi Po. Hen-Yi in English means embrace the sunlight and Po means slope. This is where our students pass through when they come into the campus.
Hen-Yi Po has a couple of meanings. When you go up on the road, it means that you walk into the sunlight. It also means that we hope our students' future to be like.
And when you go down the road, it means that we hope our students to be always humble. Believe that humbleness is the only way to learn more.
On the side of the road, you can see a lot of greenness. As a result, this scenic view is also in a lot of series in Taiwan.
Yuan Building 1 was completed in 1989. Also, it is the first building in YZU. Since YZU has an established history in engineering, this building has been mainly used by IT engineering students.
Building 2 was built in 1991. It is mainly utilized by students in chemical engineering, introductory management, and bioengineering.
The building has a unique design, featuring an octagon structure. The courtyard inside is not sheltered by a roof, which is why Building 2 is also called a rainy building.
In the front of Building 2, you can often see many students from different clubs gathering here, practicing or rehearsing their performance.
Campus life in YZU is diverse, dynamic, and exciting.
When you walk down from the slope, Building 5 is the first building that comes into your sight. It is mostly from students in humanities and social sciences. The whole design concept is based on the Arc de Triomphe. Some might say that it looks like a computer monitor or a television though. Building 5 has received some architecture design awards. Building 6 is the tallest building in Yuan campus. Principal's office, Secretariat office, and accounting office. A lot of administration units are in this building. Building 6 is also utilized by students in management. Our College of Management is certified by AACSB and AAPBS.
Now, what you are looking at is our latest building in YZU, UT7. The designer, Mr. Yang Jiakai, says that the architectural design concept of this building is based on Noah's Ark.
And hey, it is also the recipient of the 2008 Taiwan Architecture Award. The structure is completed with architectural concrete, which brings a humble but technological appearance. Come and let's take a look inside. The hall is full of natural light because it adopts a design of skylight. Footbridges and sightseeing platforms are all integrated into this modern building. Building 7 is mainly used by students in electrical and communication engineering.
When you first step into Building 7, you can see a lot of national flags on the wall. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Building 7 is also the center of international communication in YZU. The Global Affairs Office is on the second floor. It is in charge of YZU's international partnerships.
On the first floor, you will find the Global Lounge. Foreign students are welcome to visit here and hang out. You can meet people here or just find some nice corner to focus on your study. My favorite part is we got a Muslim prayer room here. If you're Muslim, you never have to worry about where to pray in YZU.
Our library consists of nearly 500,000 books, and about 1/10 of them are available for students to read online through our portal system. To be more environmentally friendly, the building is covered with glass so that the usage of light could be minimized. Special worth mentioning is that we have a tree planted on the bottom floor of the library, and when we all know that books are made out of trees, the whole presence of the tree represents how much students should cherish all the resources the school has for us. The sculpture is built on our 3rd anniversary. Founded by Far Eastern New Century Corporation, Asia Cement Corporation, and Far Eastern Department Stores, invited Mr. Zailing Li to design. Its characteristic is that it looks different from all angles. Some people think it's a paper crane shape, and some say it looks like a paper airplane. This trail is called Philosopher's Walk. The rock in front is named and written by Dr. Li, a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, who is also an honorary doctor of our school. It symbolizes human value lies in thinking ability. Also, the rocks throughout the whole trail. And as people usually concentrate on where they are stepping on, this trail has made people looking philosophers when walking through it. Now, we are at the Red Brick Boulevard, and students also call it the Breakfast Road. It is the only way from the dormitory area to the teaching area. In the morning, there are also some vendors selling breakfast on both sides, which symbolizes that the students are well prepared to start a fulfilling day. Also, every year, Yuan's Global Affairs Office organizes the International Food Festival in this boulevard. There are many types of traditional cuisine around the world on Food Bazaar to promote the cultural exchange.
This garden is designed in 2005. The main purpose is to memorize our founder, Mr. Xu Youxiang. And you can see the statue in the middle of the garden is Mr. Xi.
There is a rumor that says the statue is so lifelike, even Mr. Xi's driver couldn't help crying when he saw it. And the flower species in the garden are personally selected by the General Secretary, including lotus, rose, cherry blossom, etc. The flower species are diverse and all have literary allusions. YZU Fitness Center allows our students to build a healthier body. Equipped with a heated swimming pool, spa area, cardio exercising, and muscle building equipment, students can exercise in their spare time and stay healthy and fit. The gymnasium has multi-uses which include volleyball, basketball, badminton, and dodgeball. What's really special is that we have an indoor track on the second floor that provides students a place to exercise, especially when Taoyuan rains this much. The gymnasium also has training rooms for both kendo and karate.
Alright, that's it. Thank you so much for joining our campus tour today.
As you have seen, exploring in YZU is never boring.
I hope you enjoyed the journey with us today.
And we hope to see you soon on our campus in the future.
Yuan University welcomes you.
Bye bye.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be the moderator in this webinar. I am Florence. On behalf of the Industrial Engineering Department, Universitas Kristen Maranatha, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. Welcome to Industrial Engineering International Seminar entitled Computer Simulations and Applications in collaboration with Yonsei University, Taiwan. I would like to personally welcome our respectable participants from Universitas Kristen Maranatha, our head of Bachelor Program in Industrial Engineering, Ms. Christina, and also faculty members of Industrial Engineering Department, and also from Yonsei University, Director of International Cooperation, who is also our speaker today, Professor Hen-Yi, and also a representative from the Global Affairs Office, Ms. Maureen and Mr. Dipta Purwadaria. Thank you. It is an honor to have you here with us. Such a great opportunity being gathered here virtually in a room with students, faculty members, and staff coming from diverse locations and backgrounds. And in order to have a conducive environment during the session, I would like to seek for your cooperation in completing this seminar. Please kindly mute your microphones, especially during the lecture. And also please turn on your camera so that we can get to know each other better. We also welcome your questions, and you may raise your hand during the Q&A session. Also, you can type in your question in the chat box provided, either in English or Bahasa Indonesia. We would like to start our program with a prayer. I would like to invite Ms. Rainisa Maini Herianto to lead us in a prayer.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Florence. Ladies and gentlemen, I will lead prayer in Christian way. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for good health that you still giving us until now. Today we are gathering in this webinar. May you bless this webinar for the speaker, moderator, and all of us, so we will gain much knowledge. Please guide this webinar from the beginning into the end. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Rainisa, for leading us in prayer. To begin with, I would like to invite the head of Bachelor Program in Industrial Engineering Department, Ms. Christina, to provide an opening remark.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Florence, for introducing us here. And hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to this webinar that is a collaboration between Bachelor Program in Industrial Engineering Universitas Kristen Maranatha, Indonesia, and also the Industrial Engineering Management Department of Yuan University, Taiwan. And thank you again for Professor Ren for the willingness to share the knowledge and experience to us in this grateful moment over here. Maybe between the situation that maybe not so good around the COVID-19 pandemic. And thank you also for Mr. Dipta and Ms. Maureen for coming to this event and introduce us, the Yuan University, to us. And thank you also for Ms. Florence for becoming the moderator in this webinar. And we hope to have some other collaborations with Yuan University in the future too. We hope all of you enjoy this webinar, and this will be fruitful for us to have a new insight of computer simulation, or maybe if you want to implement this topic in our life. Yeah, thank you again. Thank you, Ms. Florence.
Thank you, Ms. Christina, for the wonderful remarks. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Dipta Purwadaria as Indonesian student representative to give an introduction to Yuan University.
Okay, hello everyone, good afternoon. I hope you guys can hear me right now. Thank you very much for the chance and opportunity to be able to come to this event. Right now, I'm going to introduce a little bit about YG or Yuan University to all of you guys. But before that, I would like to apologize to the Professor Hen-Yi and the JO representative that I will talk in Indonesian language. Okay, so selamat siang semuanya. Allow me to share my screen first. Okay. Oke, semua bisa lihat ya harusnya. Oke, hari ini simpel aja. Saya akan memperkenalkan sedikit mengenai kampus saya. Kebetulan saya di sini akan menjadi perwakilan dari General Affairs Office ataupun International Office dari Yuan University. Pertama-tama perkenalkan dulu, saya adalah Dipta Divakarapus Purwadaria. Saya merupakan mahasiswa master di Departemen Information Communication Yuan University. Sekaligus saya merupakan representatif dari General Affairs Office di Yuan University. Untuk kalian yang nantinya tertarik untuk bergabung ke Yuan University dan ingin bertanya-tanya lebih lagi jauh atau ingin banyak bertanya mengenai kampus ini, silakan hubungi saya melalui FB saya, IG, Line, atau email saya. Feel free to ask, nggak perlu malu-malu kalau kalian rasa nanti kalian nggak bisa bertanya atau tidak berkesempatan bertanya di sini. Saya akan dengan senang hati membantu untuk menjawab pertanyaan kalian. Oke. Apa saja sih yang akan saya bahas hari ini, mulai dari sejarah, sedikit fakta, lokasi, penghargaan, college sama departemen yang dipunyai oleh kampus ini, research center-nya, terus misalnya kayak bukletnya, beasiswa, dan bagaimana sih kehidupan di YCU itu sendiri, atau life on campus as a student in here, itu kayak gimana. Kita akan bicarakan itu. Oke. Sedikit sejarah dari YCU sendiri itu, YCU didirikan oleh Bapak YZ Su pada tahun 1989 dengan nama Yuan Institute of Technology. Nantinya yang pada tahun 97 berubah menjadi Yuan University. Nah, Yuan University itu sendiri didirikan atau sebetulnya yayasan ini dimiliki oleh Far Eastern Group atau FA Group. Kalau di Taiwan, perusahaan ini cukup dikenal atau grup ini cukup dikenal dan sangat terkenal, di mana dia itu punya banyak industri dan memiliki lebih dari 200 kayak anak perusahaan. Didirikan pada tahun 49 oleh bapak pendirinya tersebut, lalu memiliki total aset sekitar kurang lebih 75 billion USD dengan total employee lebih dari 58.000. Nah, industri macam apa aja sih yang dilingkupi, mulai dari transportasi, telkom, banking, construction, energi, filantropis ataupun charity, retail, dan synthetic fibers. Sedikit kalian bisa lihat di situ anak perusahaan yang dimiliki oleh Far Eastern Group ini. Salah satunya kalau di sini Sogo dimiliki oleh Far Eastern Group. Oke. Yang mungkin kalian kenal ya. Kalau yang lainnya mungkin logo-logonya cukup asing untuk kalian. Dan kampus ini juga dimiliki oleh Far Eastern Group. Sedikit fakta mengenai Far Eastern Group, di mana kita di sini memiliki hampir atau kurang lebih 8.000 students dan 25%-nya sudah diluluskan. Nah, selain itu kita juga memiliki kurang lebih 559 staf di fakultas dan juga lebih dari 375 staf atau teaching assistant atau research assistant. Nah, di sini jika kalian nanti berkuliah di sini, kalian juga punya kesempatan untuk menjadi teaching assistant ataupun research assistant. Nah, dari total student yang ada itu kalian bisa lihat bahwa international student yang ada di sini dari kurang lebih 8.000 atau bahkan hampir mencapai 9.000 student ya, mahasiswa, 8%-nya itu merupakan international student. Berarti cukup besar kan. Nah, jadi menurut aku sendiri pribadi atau saya pribadi, jika kalian ingin berkuliah di sini, ini merupakan kesempatan bagus di mana kalian bisa selain ketemu orang Taiwan, tapi ketemu orang dari berbagai negara. Di mana di sini juga ada kurang lebih dari 45 negara orang yang berkuliah di sini, dan Indonesia merupakan salah satunya. Lokasi dari YZU ini sendiri itu cukup dekat dan mudah dijangkau kalau kita mau kota-kota di sekeliling Taiwan. Karena seperti yang kita tahu, Taiwan itu cuma satu pulau besar aja. Satu pulau kecil, mohon maaf. Nah, di situ tuh kita kalau mau dari airport ke kampus kita, naik taksi cukup butuh waktu 25 menit. Terus kita mau ke Taipei City, pakai kendaraan ataupun kereta, kurang lebih 40-50 menit. Jalan dari kampus ke train station-nya cukup makan waktu 15 menit aja, jalan kaki ya. Dan kalau kita mau naik kereta cepat untuk keliling Taiwan ke kota-kota yang seperti kalian bisa lihat di map itu, hanya membutuhkan waktu 40 menit saja menggunakan kendaraan umum. Dan Taiwan ini juga menawarkan berbagai macam kota atau berbagai tujuan wisata yang bisa kalian kunjungi. Jadi di sini kalau kalian perlu tahu, Taiwan itu terkenal dengan keadaan alamnya, objek wisata yang ditawarkan itu alamnya, seperti gunung, pantai. Itu merupakan sesuatu yang kalian perlu coba nantinya jika kalian travel ke Taiwan. Oke? Reputasi dari YZU itu sendiri atau ini sendiri cukup terkenal, atau seperti kalian bisa lihat di mana di tahun 2020 di Asian University Rankings dia masuk ke urutan 251 sampai 260. World University Ranking-nya di tahun terakhir di tahun 2019 itu masuk ke top 200, dan dia mendapatkan di tahun 2020 di Taiwan sendiri dia masuk ke top 15. Nah, tapi dari MOI sendiri dia pada tahun 2005 mendapatkan penghargaan sebagai Top University atau Top University Award, 12 Top University Award, dan mendapatkan penghargaan Teaching Excellence Grant for 12 years. Jadi nggak perlu dikhawatirkan lagi mengenai kayak misalnya sekolahnya bagus apa enggak ya. Nah, kalian bisa coba search di web juga kalau kalian ragu. Kualitas dari pengajar pun sudah terakreditasi dengan baik, seperti salah satunya dari AACSB, ACCSB, dan juga IEET. Jadi di sini kalian bisa lihat ini terakreditasi secara manajemen maupun engineering-nya. Jadi kalian nggak perlu takut, dosen-dosen di sini sangat berkualitas untuk mengajarkan kalian. Dan mereka juga kebanyakan itu merupakan lulusan-lulusan dari universitas-universitas di luar negeri, seperti dari Amerika, pembicara kita sendiri, lalu dari Eropa, Jepang, dan lainnya. Yuan University ini juga merupakan universitas pertama di Taiwan yang menggunakan bilingual. Jadi jangan khawatir nantinya, aduh kuliah di sini gue nggak bisa bahasa Mandarin nih. Nah, tenang Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu sekalian, dan saudara-saudari sekalian, saya di sini hidup hampir 3 tahun tanpa menguasai atau mengerti bahasa Mandarin. Saya bisa dibilang 95% kehidupan atau keseharian saya menggunakan bahasa Inggris dan bahasa tubuh. Dan saya survive selama 3 tahun ini. Jadi Ibu-Ibu, Bapak-Bapak sekalian tidak perlu khawatir. Terus Yuan atau YZU ini sendiri merupakan salah satu universitas yang mengimplementasikan sistem 5-year dual degree system ataupun 4+1 biasanya. Kalau di sini ada juga. Jadi mahasiswa bachelor berkesempatan bisa lulus hingga master dengan program 4+1-nya. Nah, jika kalian ingin berkuliah di sini dan tertarik akan coding atau programming language, di sini programming language itu merupakan sesuatu yang dianjurkan dan disarankan dan akan kalian sering temui. Jadi walaupun kalian belajarnya nanti dalam bentuk manajemen, apalagi anak-anak industri ya, tidak lari jauh dari coding. Dan itu kesempatan yang bagus untuk kalian yang ingin belajar. Nah, tidak ada pembagian divisi, departemen di bagian College of Management dan juga College of Electronical-nya. Terus Kalau kalian ingin berkuliah S1 di sini, kalian itu masih memiliki kesempatan hingga nanti di tahun kedua, nantinya kurang lebih untuk transfer. Nah, jadi mata kuliah yang kalau kalian rasa tidak cocok, kalian diberikan kesempatan untuk transfer ke jurusan lainnya. Dan di sini juga terdapat interdisciplinary programs, di mana kalian bisa memilih major dan minor yang kalian inginkan. Nah, kita di sini memiliki 5 college besar dan 25 departemen yang bisa memberikan English program. 5 college besar itu apa aja? Di sini kita punya Electrical and Communication Engineering, Informatics, Engineering, Management, dan Humanities and Social Science. Kalau kalian mau tahu industri masuk di mana, masuknya di College of Engineering. Oke. Di sini kalian bisa lihat College of Electrical and Communication Engineering menawarkan, seperti kalian bisa lihat di slide, itu ada 4 program. Kalau di situ Bachelor, M, Master, dan D itu untuk doktoral. Jadi jika kalian tertarik, kalian bisa lihat di situ, di mana kalau di electrical itu biasanya dibagi menjadi grup A untuk electrical, grup B komunikasi, grup C fotonik. Dan kita juga menyediakan untuk bachelor, yaitu international program yang memang pembelajarannya bisa dikatakan 80% hingga 90% menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Dengan key development area seperti yang di samping ada IoT, AI, dan Intelligent Biomedical. Di College of Informatics sendiri, nah ini tempat saya atau kandang saya, ini yang kami tawarkan. Ada Computer Science Engineering, Information Management, Information Communication. Ada juga Biomedical Informatics. Nah, untuk bachelor yang ingin belajar menggunakan bahasa Inggris, ada international programnya juga. Dengan titik fokus seperti yang ada di sebelah, kalian bisa lihat. College of Engineering sendiri, ini asal dari moderator dan pembicara kita hari ini. Dalamnya ada Mechanical Engineering, Chemical Engineering, Industrial Engineering, dan Biotechnology and Bioengineering. Kembali juga di sini kami menyediakan program menggunakan bahasa Inggris untuk anak-anak yang pengen benar-benar bahasa Inggris. Tapi jangan takut, jika kalian ingin belajar menggunakan bahasa Mandarin, kalian bisa memilih kelas yang menggunakan bahasa Mandarin juga ya. Kita nggak menutup kemungkinan karena kalian internasional, kalian harus mengambil yang berbahasa Inggris. Fokus areanya seperti yang kalian bisa lihat di slide ya. Nah, untuk manajemen kita punya Business Administration Program, MBA, English Bachelor of Business Program Administration programnya juga. Terus ada masternya, ada Master of Science in Finance and Accounting, ada juga Global Master of Business Administration Program atau GMBA. Biasanya nih anak-anak Indonesia tertarik untuk mengambil yang ini, yang GMBA. Dan juga Doctor of Philosophy Program. Jadi mulai dari Bachelor hingga PhD-nya ada untuk College of Management juga. Dan di sini untuk manajemen, chemical, industrial, dan IT-nya cukup dikenal. Jadi merupakan kesempatan bagus untuk kalian jika kalian nantinya ingin memilih jurusan yang tadi saya sebutkan sebagai kayak pertimbangan untuk di saat kalian submit ke sini atau ingin melanjutkan studi kalian. Fokus areanya juga seperti yang kalian bisa dilihat, ada entrepreneurship, innovation, di era IoT, ada risk management dan segala macam jenisnya yang sekarang juga menjadi tren di Indonesia. Nah, terus kita memiliki juga College of Humanities and Social Science, di mana dalamnya ada Foreign Language and Applied Linguistics, Chinese Linguistics and Literature, Social and Policy Science, terus ada Department of Art and Design. Jadi kalau kalian tertarik untuk belajar art and design juga bisa datang ke sini. Kita memiliki Ph.D. juga untuk Cultural Industry dan Cultural Policy-nya. Nah, seperti biasa, ada juga program untuk English-nya. Jadi kalian jangan takut dan kalian bisa mencoba. Fokus studinya seperti yang kalian bisa lihat di samping. Oke. Untuk kalian yang benar-benar suka menjadi peneliti, kampus ini merupakan pilihan yang tepat juga. Di sini juga bisa dibilang seperti Research Institute atau Research University, di mana kita menyediakan beberapa research center seperti yang kalian bisa lihat di layar kalian, di mana kita mempunyai ada Big Data and Digital Convergence Center, ada Communication Research Center, terus juga ada AI Innovation Center, dan sebagainya. Nah, diharapkan dengan adanya Research Center ini bisa membantu kalian yang ingin mencoba melakukan penelitian atau yang punya ide-ide gila lainnya. Oke. Untuk kalian yang punya ketertarikan untuk gabung ke WiseU, kalian bisa scan QR code yang ada ini, Di dalamnya itu ada buklet dan pamflet atau prospektus mengenai YZU. Oke, jadi kalian bisa scan dan coba dibaca. Oke. YZU sendiri menawarkan beasiswa untuk anak-anak bachelor, master, dan Ph.D. di mana bachelornya itu biasanya yang ditawarkan dalam bentuk beasiswa untuk tuition fee-nya sebesar 20 sampai 100%. Sedangkan untuk anak master itu tuition fee sebesar 20 sampai 100% dengan tambahan stipend atau biaya bulanan atau biaya hidup bulanan sebesar 6.000 NTD per bulannya atau sekitar 3 juta lebih per bulannya. Sedangkan untuk anak-anak PhD kita menawarkan 100% tuition waiver atau tuition fee-nya itu gratis kan. Nah, dan mahasiswa PhD itu biasanya mendapatkan stipend sebesar atau biaya bulanan sebesar 8.000 per bulan atau sekitar 4 jutaan lebih. Tapi ini sistemnya keberuntungan Anda dan tergantung dari CV yang Anda berikan dan kualitas Anda. Selain itu, mahasiswa PhD berkesempatan menjadi RA ataupun TA. RA itu Research Assistant, seperti yang saya katakan tadi, kalau kalian suka meneliti dan membantu profesor atau advisor kalian di kelas, kalian akan diberikan gaji tambahan ataupun uang lab. Tapi ini tidak hanya untuk anak-anak PhD. Jika ada kemungkinan anak-anak master ataupun bachelor bisa mendapatkan kesempatan ataupun gaji dari profnya jika membantu project profnya. Jadi sebetulnya tergantung gimana kaliannya waktu ada di sini dan gimana kalian mencoba untuk menunjukkan kemampuan kalian selama kalian berkuliah di luar nantinya. Karena menurut pengalaman saya sendiri, saya mendapatkan kesempatan untuk mendapatkan semuanya. Jadi dari RA, TA, dan gaji lab berhasil saya dapatkan dan juga kerjaan sampingan di kampus. Jadi itu sebetulnya peluang bagus dan kesempatan bagus untuk kalian yang suka untuk melanjutkan studi dengan self-support system atau tidak menggunakan uang orang tua. Oke, lanjut. YZU sendiri juga memiliki banyak koneksi secara internasional, kerjasama secara internasional dengan berbagai universitas yang ada di seluruh dunia. Sekarang tuh kita udah mempunyai hampir 300 kerjasama dengan universitas di seluruh dunia. Kalian bisa lihat di gambar, di situ ada dari Amerika, Asia, terus dari Indonesia sendiri pun ada, dan siapa tahu ke depannya dengan Universitas Maranatha. Oke. Berikutnya, nah sekarang kita masuk udah kayak lebih ke kehidupan di kampus. Mungkin kalian akan lebih tertarik untuk baca atau melihat yang satu ini. YZU sendiri memiliki 6 building besar. Sebetulnya 9 dengan asrama, kalau asrama dan gedung aktivitas mahasiswa dihitung, tapi yang 6 ini yang digunakan untuk pembelajaran, dimulai dari building 1 untuk College of Informatics, building 2 College of Engineering, jadi anak-anak industri di building 2, building 3 untuk College of Mechanical Engineering sama Department of Art and Design, building 5 kandang saya, College of Humanities and Social Science, building 6 untuk College of Management, building 7 College of Electric and Communication Engineering. Nah, kenapa nggak ada nomor 4? Karena nomor 4 itu bisa dikatakan angka yang tidak baik di sini atau melambangkan seperti kurang bagus atau mati lah, kematian. Jadi tidak digunakan sama seperti di Jepang. Oke, jadi akan sangat jarang menemukan angka 4. Tapi saya heran juga di gedung saya kenapa liftnya ada angka 4. Mungkin mereka lupa waktu itu. Nah, selain itu kami menawarkan juga di sini infrastruktur lainnya untuk mahasiswa gunakan. Kita punya Olympic size running track, siapa tahu kalian ada yang punya hobi lari, kalian bisa coba untuk lari di lapangan tersebut. Kita punya indoor swimming pool, kita punya fitness center, di mana fitness center-nya juga memiliki alat yang cukup lengkap, bahkan cukup terlalu lengkap menurut saya. Library, ini merupakan salah satu simbol dan ikon kampus kita. Dormitory atau asrama, buat anak cowok, anak cewek dipisah ya, kita tidak memberikan mix asrama. Dan kafetaria, tentunya kantin buat kalian makan. Kalau enggak, matilah kalian melakukan penelitian tanpa adanya isi di perut kalian. Lalu untuk anak-anak internasional, GAO atau Global Affairs Office atau International Office menawarkan beberapa hal juga. Mulai dari kami menyediakan Global Hub atau lounge untuk anak-anak internasional, lalu prayer room atau musola untuk teman-teman muslim kita yang ingin beribadah setiap harinya. Lalu kita mempunyai program buddy program di mana kita akan berkumpul bersama anak internasional dari berbagai negara lainnya, terus dengan warga lokal untuk saling bersosialisasi. Lalu kita punya football club. Ada juga ini, kalau yang punya teman-teman orang India, Holy Festival Celebration. Lalu ada Muslim Culture Day, kadang-kadang kita juga merayakan Lebaran bersama-sama. Lalu ada Mid Autumn Barbecue Party yang biasanya diselenggarakan oleh Global Student Association. Jadi di sini ada kayak apa ya, senat atau BEM dari mahasiswa yang isinya orang-orang internasional. Dan kebetulan saya juga merupakan salah satu anggota dari GSA tersebut. Nah, biasanya kita ada welcome party, barbecue party, dan event-event gila lainnya. Dan salah satunya yang terakhir yaitu International Food Festival yang biasanya kita selenggarakan. Nah, jadi di sini nantinya akan ada berbagai orang dari berbagai negeri yang kumpul untuk memasak masakannya sendiri-sendiri. Oke, ini seperti kalian bisa lihat di gambar, kegiatan di kelas, di lab tuh kayak apa, kegiatan sehariannya kayak apa, kayak ini. Kalian bisa lihat. Lalu, sorry typo-nya itu asramanya seperti apa sih, Kak? Nah, seperti ini. Itu kasurnya, satu kamar berisikan 4 orang, udah lengkap dengan ranjang di atas, meja di bawah, kita punya lounge, tempat cuci baju, kulkas, dan ada convenience store, yaitu Family Mart di bawahnya. Itu tampak keluar dari asrama. Nah, kehidupan di luar kampus kayak apa sih? Jangan takut, yang kayak mau bahas di sini makan, karena saya juga termasuk orang yang suka makan. Jadi untuk kalian yang takut, aduh, makanan di Taiwan ntar cocok nggak ya kayak di Indo, tenang aja. Kita menawarkan banyak option. Nah, seperti kalian lihat di gambar ini, banyak banget jenis makanan yang bisa kalian coba, dan saya paling rekomendasikan yang di tengah ini, yang waffle. Wah, ini sih paling the best, dan icon dari kampus ini yang kalian pasti coba kalau kalian datang kampus ini. Ini kalau dibaca smiling face ya. Oke. Nah, kira-kira setelah kalian lulus nanti, apa sih yang akan terjadi dari kalian? Jangan takut. YZU ini merupakan universitas swasta yang termasuk mahasiswa atau jebolannya disukai oleh perusahaan-perusahaan. Jadi biasanya 90% dari kalian yang lulus dalam waktu 3 bulan pasti akan dapat kerja. Dan 96% sisanya akan mendapatkan pekerjaan kurang lebih hingga menunggu hingga 6 bulan. Jadi nggak terlalu lama dan kalian bisa langsung dapat pekerjaan. Kadang orang-orang yang ikut internship malah udah ditarik untuk ikut kerja. Nah, internship itu sendiri kita juga tawarkan di sini, bekerja sama dengan Far Eastern Group atau yayasan dari kampus ini, di mana kita akan memberikan sistem untuk program A dan program B. Di mana program A itu biasanya untuk anak-anak bachelor, di mana mereka akan memiliki kesempatan untuk internship selama 1 semester atau 7 bulan, dan program B di mana di saat mereka berlibur di musim panas selama 2 bulan. Oke. Terakhir, jika kalian tertarik untuk mendaftar ke kampus ini, silakan kalian lihat. Untuk fall semester itu kalian bisa mendaftar dari tanggal 1 sampai tanggal 15 Desember. Dan untuk pendaftaran berikutnya di spring semester mulai dari 1 September hingga 15 Oktober. Silakan di-scan QR code-nya itu, nanti kalian bisa lihat detail atau requirements yang diperlukan untuk mendaftar ke kampus ini. So, tunggu apa lagi? Kalau kalian memang berminat dan pengen merasakan pengalaman untuk kuliah di luar negeri, dipersilahkan untuk mencoba. Oke, jangan lupa di-scan QR code-nya. Oke. Kalau kalian juga masih memiliki pertanyaan dan malu bertanya ke saya secara pribadi atau langsung, silakan juga bisa bertanya langsung ke GAO atau GAO dari YZU. Bisa lewat Facebook, IG, ataupun emailnya. Kita pasti akan coba jawab dengan sebaik-baiknya dan secepat mungkin. Oke. Saya rasa itu aja yang saya bisa bawakan mengenai sedikit perkenalan mengenai kampus. Jika kalian ingin bertanya lebih jauh mengenai kampus, nanti di akhir session silakan bertanya ke saya. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Mr. Dita, for sharing such invaluable information. I believe we have some participants here interested in pursuing higher degree. So without further ado, today's lecture will include a comprehensive discussion about computer simulations, not only as a tool, but also how can it help shareholders or decision-making process, and also the role it plays in digital twin era. Moreover, the applications on the possible areas that will be benefited from the computer simulations will be further elaborated, not only for manufacturing industry, but also for service business. And let me provide a brief introductions on our speaker today. Dr. Hen-Yi is an assistant professor in computerized facility planning and simulation lab. He pursued his doctorate degree in construction engineering and management from Purdue University in the United States, and also a master's degree in transportation engineering from University of Texas at Austin. And he also got his bachelor degree in transportation engineering and management from National Chiao Tung University. His research fields includes project management, process analysis and simulation, lean production and services, also service engineering. Let's give a warm welcome to our main speaker, Professor Hen-Yi.
Okay, thank you for having me in this webinar, and I welcome the student and also the scholars from Indonesia. Okay, it's great to have this opportunity to introduce my research work. And other than that, I also want to tell a little bit about how to get a very good scholarship here. Okay, and that's been sponsored by the Taiwan's government, and you are all welcome to join our department for higher degree, like master degree or PhD degree. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So today I'm going to use about 50 minutes to introduce this computer simulation and the related applications. I'm also from the Industrial Engineering and the Management Department. So here's my agenda. I'm very thankful that Florence already introduced some of my background, so I won't go into too much detail about that. And the layout of my today's presentation will be about the digital twin and what is the computer simulation and its related issues. And also I will do some explanation and also give you the demo using a simulation package. And then I will introduce a bit about my research object, and the scholarship I just mentioned is called the Taiwan ICDF. And finally, and the most important is that we want you. Okay, our department, we want you. Okay, we welcome the students from Indonesia and that can participate our graduate program and have a great future. Okay, so here's some of my bio. Okay, I can skip it here. Okay, you can see the photo. This is me. But now I want to go into the detail about the simulation. But before that, I want to say a word about the digital twin. A digital twin is quite popular in recent years. It's been proposed by IBM and many other major industries. And the purpose is that right now we have a lot of technologies that's being wired together in the manufacturing plants and many operations, but how to harness the power of it. So it's been realized a couple of years ago that maybe we can have a digital replica. As you can see here, it's just like a virtual model. So on the right-hand side, you can see that's a digital replica, and on the left side, it's a physical, that's the real stuff. And the way we are doing this digital twin is that we want to have a virtual model, and that has been designed to accurately reflect physical objects. So you can see here on the left, okay, because in the physical world, now we have a lot of sensors that's built in all kinds of equipments and machines. And those informations, somehow we can try to collect them, aggregate them, and try to analyze in order to have the insight, okay? A lot, and there are also many analytic tools that help us to do that. So here, some of the good things about digital twins that basically integrate the Internet of Things. Just as the previous presenter mentioned that in our university, we will put a lot of effort studying the Internet of Things and the IoT, or right now we are doing a smart production. That's also the main objective of our department. So this IoT technologies is burgeoning and been becoming very popular. And then the basic idea about this Internet of Things is that we are embedding the systems in operations, a lot of sensors, and try to collect all kinds of information. But however, even though we know the information is important, but those raw data, how do we cook them? Okay, to make a good recipe. Okay, that's the things we want to do. For example, we want to know what's the performance now and what could be the performance 2 hours later or 1 day later. So we want to know some performance issues here. And we also want to see if we can generate some possible improvements later on, okay, by reading the data, doing the analysis. And of course, we can have the very valuable insights. The insight not only for the operational point of view, but maybe from the strategic point of view. Okay, that's for the higher hierarchy management point of view. And then we can apply it back to the original physical object because we already has all the information. Maybe we can do the artificial intelligence like machine learning, deep learning. And all in all, here that simulation basically is the enabler of digital twin, okay? Because my major is in simulation, so I always think that everything can be simulated, and with the simulation we can see a lot of things. Okay, so as you can see here on the bottom, we have a real robot, and in the simulation we have a similar type of robots, and it can be operated freely. And later I'm going to do some demonstration. So, and let's just see how easily it is to create a simulation model. All right, but before I go into further detail, I want to share with you a YouTube video. It's about computer simulation. So let me switch to the YouTube. Okay, and I want you to take a look at the simulation from others, people's explanation about this. So let me start it. Can you hear the voice? The voice is okay?
Yes, it's okay, Prof.
Add a new machine. How can we get rid of this bottleneck? Will we receive a positive return on our investment? Simulation can answer these and many other questions, because it provides a virtual environment to learn and experiment on your process. A place where data is easy to come by and where mistakes result in improvement instead of ending careers. FlexSim is powerful 3D simulation software, built from the ground up to make simulation as easy as possible, without sacrificing an ounce of function or visual appeal. You can create beautiful, detailed models that deliver results, yet make an impact in the way spreadsheets or charts never could. And you can do it all in just minutes with drag and drop controls and easy to use features. So what is FlexSim? It's a problem-solving tool that allows you to accurately answer any question about your business. You'll save time and money by making better choices and avoiding the bad ones, all without the risk in physical experimentation. Contact us today for a free web demo, or let us build you a demonstration model of your facility. We would love to show you why FlexSim is the best solution for your business.
Okay, so that's the introduction by FlexSim company. And here in Yuan University, we've been teaching about FlexSim, the computer simulation package for almost 8 years. And so far, we have a lot of industry collaborations using this computer simulation package, and it's also quite successful. And they also enable us to do a lot more because we can see a lot of details compared with other similar simulation packages. But for you to understand, especially I know there's a lot of students here, so I want you, if you don't have any previous background in the simulation, I want to give you a very simple explanation about the simulation. And we go from here. It's called a discrete event simulation. So the simulation basically is driven by events that occur at a certain point of time. For example, on the right, you can see we can simulate the airport operations. Okay, at certain point, for example, the arrival time and the departure time of the airport, or of the airplane. That's a specific event and occur in a certain time. And when the event occurs, the state of the system will change. Like how many, for example, how many airplanes landing so far. That will be the state, some state. So we will have this timing device. We call it a simulation clock. The clock will advance with each event taking place. So after each event occurred, descriptors of state of the system will be recorded. So here, as you can see here in this figure, we know the airplane arrived at A, then we will schedule the landed event at A05. And further, we will schedule another departure event at 9:15. Okay, then followed by another arrival. And for unprocessed events, they are stored in the pending event list. And for those events, they will be processed in timestamp order. So basically, a discrete event simulation is just like a bookkeeping. And why we are doing this discrete event simulation, but not the continuous simulation, because most of the time we just concerned about what happening at a certain time. Okay, and for that event, okay, that will be variable for our further analysis. So here, we've been using the Flexin, as I just mentioned. We used the Flexin for almost 8 years. And we realized it's a very powerful simulation tool because first, it is 3D software. Okay, and it's this DS based, and that can model and simulate and to predict and visualize the system easily. So okay, as you can see in the bottom, that's the one simulation model as built by my graduate student for his master study. We are simulating a plan, okay, for manufacturing the PCB, a printed circuit board, and it's very easy to visualize the whole process operations. And the benefit of Flexin is that all those results can be visualized, and of course the changes, if you want to propose any changes to study alternative ideas, that's also not very difficult. And of course, later we can do some optimization for the processes. Well, from an academic point of view, yeah, I think it's pretty much enough. But you know, if you want to communicate with higher level management, or you want to communicate with your clients, always the animation and the visual presentation is the most effective way to do. So with this simulation tool, we can also communicate with our clients very easily. And here, I'm going to do some very simple simulation demos. Just want to show you how easy and quickly to create a model and do some analysis. So allow me to switch to the Flexin package. Okay. And I will try to create a very simple model for you. Okay, as you just saw in the YouTube video, if I want to create a simulation model, I can just pull in the objects, okay, and then make a linkage to all these objects. And then I want to use the transporter, or here is the forklift, to move the stuff from the queue to the processor. So with a very simple setup, okay, then you can see that now we have this forklift doing the work for us. Okay, so for how many minutes to create this model, well, it takes just about 30 seconds, less than half minute. And to create this model, you can have this 3D animation right front, okay, right in front of your eyes. And it is very easy to observe the operations. So suppose that if I move the machine a little bit away from here, you can see that our forklift will do the work very easily. Then suppose you don't want to use the forklift, but you want to use the robots. How do we do that? Well, we just make it closer between the queue and the processor. And we get the robots here, okay? And then just like we were doing with the forklift, now we have the robots. Then let's take a look what will happen. Okay. And you can zoom in to see all the details. So you can see the robots moving the objects from the queue to the processors to be processed, and then for the items to reach the end, okay, and live out the system. So doing this simulation in 3D way and visually, it's very easy for us to catch some essence of this important process model. Not only this, sometimes we want to see more information. For example, we want to know what's the utilization for the machine and what's the utilization for the robots. And what is the waiting time for the items that's going to be processed? So we can collect this information with a so-called dashboard. So we just add a dashboard. Okay, so here you can have the dashboard here. Let me put it on the bottom of it. So we can see the 3D models here, and we try to get the informations. So if I want to see the utilization for the processors, I can choose the processor. And I can also choose the robots. So now I have a processor and I have the robots. And let me see if I'm finished. Okay, yes. Applied it, reset, go. So see, it's very easy, okay, to create a dashboard and to monitor the operations, okay, up to now. And by reading these numbers, we can see the utilization for both the processor and the robots. And of course, sometimes we've been concerned about the waiting time. So we can get some queue information here as well. So if you want to get the information here, we can just click this object, okay, and we can see some waiting time information. So we can check out the stay time here. Then, bam, we have this information. So after running this model for a long period of time, so I try to make it quicker, okay. So you can see that we can zoom in to see, wow, you see the items piling up. Okay, so maybe the system is not so effective. At least by running this simulation for a certain period of time, we know the information. And then we can get these numbers also very easily. Maybe a screen a little bit small for you to read. I apologize for that. But by doing this dashboard, we can have this utilization information as well as the waiting time information. And many times we are doing this, okay, for some other complicated models. And I also want to share with you about the other things that, for example, if I want to have a storage system, it's also very easy to do that. First, we put a rack here. Okay, so you can see the rack. And then maybe after the items have been processed, it will be moved to the rack for storage. Then how do we do that? We can pull out an ASIS vehicle. That's for the logistic things. So, and with this ASRS vehicles, and then let me make some connections here. Okay. And I try to make some adjustment. And then let's take a look what will happen. Okay, so I try to make it bigger for you so you can see clearer, more clear. So here you go. And you see that? So now we can have this ASRS vehicle that can help us to move our item into final storage. Of course, there are some rules that if you want to implement it, so we can test many scenarios. Okay, like for what kind of storage strategy will be the best way, okay, for a company to put the items into the storage system. Very simple, very easy, and to get the information is only a couple of clicks away, and we can generate this. We can generate a lot of results, okay, and we can see many insights just based on this very simple demonstration of my simulation. Okay, so maybe I just switch back to my PowerPoint slides. Okay, all right, so those are the simple demonstration about the model creation and about how to create a dashboard. So I just create a model very much like this, and to get the information, we can just use the dashboard functions. And by reading this, we can see a lot of details. Okay. I know for some industrial engineering students, you learn the operations research before, and you know how complicated to do this, but using the simulation is very easy. So every time I say easy, well, to build a model and to build a simple model is easy, but of course you want to know more detail, you need to work, and there are some efforts, okay, you need to put in order to get some meaningful information. Okay, now goes to my research lab. Okay, so currently, because I'm doing this simulation, so I need to have some facilities. So in my lab, I have the computer hardware, and also I'm using the virtual reality. So here we have some goggles, and we have the HTC Vive, that's for the virtual reality equipment, and of course the Flexing simulation package. And we also have a collaboration with other labs, so we can have the assets for the robots. And we also have a collaboration with mechanical department, so we can try to simulate and between the real, between the virtual world and the physical world. Okay, so it's always hard, but we just try our best to make things in a much more smooth way. All right, so here are some of my recent research projects. So as you can see here, I'm doing the simulation in manufacturing, and here is a very simple model that we've have the collaboration with PCB company. It's a plain white manufacturing simulation. And also I'm doing a simulation analysis of ASRS and AGV system. It's also industry collaborated. And from an academic point of view, okay, I'm doing some optimization, okay, through simulation, okay. Because for now, creating a simulation scenario is not very complicated, but how to find the optimal solution, that's still a very challenging task. And other than the simulation that I've been collaborated with the manufacturing industry, I also have some collaboration with the healthcare providers. So in our nearby hospital, I do have this simulation applications. You know that? You know what? Because during the COVID-19, okay, sometimes we have a huge surge of patients who have this positive COVID. So at that moment, it's very difficult to gather information or to analyze what could be the resources required in order to deal with a situation like this. So we are creating an allocation model to do the analysis of hospital resources, especially for disease outbreak, for example, COVID-19. And we believe in the future, similar disease outbreaks may happen. And it's very important that we should set up a model that can help us easily find a solution, okay, to the necessary allocations of all kinds of medical equipment and the doctors, number of doctors and number of nurses. And also we are doing this optimal size of medical staff for the ICU. It's about the medical ICU and it's in the general hospital. It's a different project, but I'm also working with the hospital and try to answer the questions raised by the doctors and also by the nurses. So far, I think it's successful, but we sometimes the communication is also important. So I always use the Flexing 3D simulation model to communicate with the doctors and nurses, so we can be on the same boat, and we can communicate with each other much more easily. Because my background is industrial engineering, and they are in the medical industry. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to communicate. So using a simulation model is really good for effective communication. Now, that's my part, okay, for my research and my research work, research projects. And if for students, if you are the following, I really need you. If you are undergrad and you are with the industrial or the mechanical or electrical or general engineering majors, we want you. And if you are master graduate in industrial engineering, yes, we also want you, that you can pursue the PhD degree here, okay, in Yuan University. The GPA requirement, of course, okay, that's 3.0 plus, okay, for the masters. If you have GPA more than 3.5, that would be wonderful for the PhD program. I know students from Indonesia, they are also very smart and they are diligent. And also, if you want to pursue the efficiency and you love the effectiveness, we certainly welcome you. Okay, and for your future career, if you get a PhD degree, you can find a faculty position in Taiwan and also in your home country, and we can do some research at the development. Okay, not only in Taiwan, China, or you can do it overseas. Okay, and for my research interests, other than the simulation, I'm also doing a project management. So if you want to become a project manager, or you want to become a process engineer, or you want to focus on the quality, you are also welcome to go to our program. Okay, engineering, logistics, system engineering, that's also the future possibilities. Okay, after graduation. All right, and then I want to introduce a little bit about Taiwan ICDF scholarship. Okay, so far there are a lot of international students who are under this ICDF scholarship, and the ICDF scholarship is Taiwan government supported foundation that provides a scholarship for higher education with the partner universities in Taiwan, and Yuanzi is one of them. ICDF scholarship benefit include full scholarship and the return airfare, the housing, tuitions, and credit fees, insurance, textbook costs, and the monthly stipends. So basically, you don't need to worry about any financial financial issues here in Taiwan if you get this ICDF scholarship. And for the ICDF, they sponsor students pursuing the international's master program in industrial engineering and management at YZU. So if you want to do the industrial engineering and management, okay, certainly ICDF is your choice. And if you want to have more information about this ICDF, you're welcome to use the link I provided here. Finally, thank you for all your attention. And if you want to reach me, you can write an email. This is my email address, hen.yi@yzu.edu.tw. Thank you very much. And that's my part and my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the enlightening lecture, Professor Ren. I would like to welcome some of the questions from the participants. If you have some questions, I'm sure Professor Ren or maybe Mr. Dipta would be pleased to answer them. You may raise your hand and directly ask the speaker here, or maybe type in your questions in the chat box. And I see one of the questions from Mr. Dipta actually. Professor Ren, would you like to share some of your experiences working with an industry that...
Okay. Yeah. Well, for the industry, right now I have all my graduate students, all my graduate students, and some of my undergraduate students who are working and have this collaboration with a company. Okay, basically it's a supplier of Apple's iPhone. Okay, and the manufacturing plant are all in China. But you know, we don't have chance to go to China for now. So we have this online meeting almost every week, and we are discussing our simulation model with their company staff. So with this very intense meetings and the communications that we have been able to deliver the results to them. So for the past 1 or 2 years, I ran about 10 projects. Okay, 80% of them are done by the master and undergrad students, and some of them already has the master degree. So for the industry collaborations, I really need a lot of helping hands. Especially, I really want the student from Indonesia or from Southeast Asia, because the company told me that they also have a Southeastern Asia presence. Okay, and they want to hire the graduates from Yuan University. Maybe they can serve in Taiwan or in China. That's their plans there, or they also have a branch in Vietnam or in Indonesia. They are also welcome students, okay, after graduation, and go back to their home country to serve continually. Okay, and the company also want to support a student with a scholarship, not the ICDF, but they also provide their own scholarship because they want to keep the student after they graduate. They want to keep them in the company. Yes. Okay.
Okay, it's quite interesting actually, Prof.
Is there any questions from the other participants? Would you like to share some of your experience teaching some of the international students, Prof?
Okay.
And you mentioned about collaborating with the local companies, Chinese companies, and how.
Okay. Well, you know, I have 2 graduate courses. One's a service system design, and for service system design class, there are a lot of international students. Okay. Florence, you're also one of them. Okay, and I remember you did a very, very good job. Okay, and of course at that time, welcome all kinds of study methods. Okay, not really limited to the simulation, but you can use all kind of methodology to solve your the problems. But recently, I've been more and more focused on the simulation. And for the simulation, I teach both in Chinese and English. Okay, I have an English teaching class, okay, for the simulation, and also for the Chinese teaching class. Okay, that's for the undergrads. So for students, if they are international students, I think there will be no language barrier and to understand the simulation. And for students, I do have some students now starting working with me, okay, and for the collaboration with the hospital. So for the international student, they are very strong in the methodology section and the literature review. And for the simulation building, okay, because sometimes we need to communicate with the local hospital. They just speak Chinese. So usually I have one local graduate student as well as one international student. So we work in sync. So for the local student, they can somehow communicate with the industry and the international student who will do the research. So by this partnership, we can deliver the projects to the industry. Okay.
Thank you, Prof. And I have another question from Gerard from UBD. And the question is, which one would you say more accurate to predict something, and predictive algorithm like heuristic machine learning or simulation?
Which one is you say more accurate to predict something? Well, for the heuristic simulation, we didn't do the heuristic, but we are doing the prediction. The prediction is that for the situation like this, we build a model. And for the model, especially for the model that simulate a planned operations, we have a lot of equipment. And for those equipment, sometimes they need the maintenance. Sometimes they will have a breakdown, but we never know when will they happen. Okay, so we are doing this random sampling. So we are doing this simulation about what could happen to the equipment or to the machine. And if these things happen to them, how do we do to recover? And if there's any event happening, okay, for example, the breakdown or for the maintenance, what could be the possible loss of capacity, the production capacity? So we can do the estimate of that, and then we can also report this to the owner, okay, to the owner of the model. But we don't have this heuristic built in our model, but only when we want to do the optimization, especially if we have a lot of scenarios, sometimes we will use a very simple heuristic. It's called a simulated annealing SA algorithm, okay, to do that. The way doing this simulated annealing is to reduce the sample size for us to do the simulation, because we need to do a lot of repetitions about simulation. So SA so far is the most popular one for us to do the optimization through simulation. Okay, I hope I answered your question.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, Prof, I think machine learning can also be incorporated along with simulation in digital twin, isn't it, Prof?
Exactly, but I didn't try it yet. So next year I want to do some, I do want to do some research by combining the machine learning and also the IoT. okay, because we can see the potential of IoT. It's always been taught by the industry, but after some search, I still hardly find much literatures talking about this. So maybe we can work on that. And it's also a very popular issues among academia. So yeah, sure, why not? Okay.
We also have another question from Mr. Rico. Is there any gap or difference between simulation and real situation? How the simulation may fit the real situation?
Oh, well, a couple of years ago, that's a huge gap between the simulation and the real system. Yeah, and the reason is that, you know, just like we are doing the operations research, we try to do some abstraction, you know, just like in the mathematics. Okay, so we try to simplify the simulation, simplify the problem in order to find a suitable answer to that. But with the advance of information technology, and especially for the 3D modeling, so for doing this, it's become a lot easier. So I would say the difference between the real system and simulation is getting narrower and narrower. But I'm not sure to what degree. Is it possible that we can have 100% similarity? I don't believe so, but maybe we can reach like 85% or 90%. Just like, as I just mentioned, the digital twin. Okay, a replica itself is very challenging. So up till now, there's still a lot of research work, yeah, going on, and we don't know the. I would say that we don't know the. It's just we couldn't see the frontier. Okay, we can always push the envelope a little bit further, and try to find a lot of possible solutions to that. Okay. Or maybe we can say that maybe 100% replica. Are you sure is it so meaningful? I'm also suspicious of that. For some degree of abstraction, maybe it's necessary because we want our methodology to be more generalized. If it's 100% like, maybe it cannot be generalized. Okay. All right.
The term we used to is an overfitting situation, isn't it, Prof? In the machine learning terms.
So what?
If we cannot generalize well.
Yeah, if we can generalize well, then it won't serve any academic value. Yeah. But maybe for company, they have different point of view because they want everything to be specific to them. But for the academia, we want everything to be generalized. Yeah. So it can be applied to many disciplines.
I think one more question from Andy. Oh, two more questions. The first one, in real system, there are usually factors that cannot be simulated in simulation software. For example, management decision factors in influencing worker performance. How can we deal with these factors in making decisions?
Okay, so we have two questions, right? In real, there are usual factors cannot be simulated. Yes. Management decision. We need to make an assumption, okay, and then we can do the random sampling. Okay, we make an assumption the boss will be nice to the employees, 90% chance. Okay, so if another 10% doesn't treat the employee nice, then we will have a slow performance. So that's the assumption we need to make here. Okay, it's not so real. Okay, it's maybe not reflecting the real situation, but we can, you know, we need to use our creation, okay, to try to simulate a situation like this. It's hard to catch people's mind, but we can somehow describe it in probability. Okay, lots of things we do. And I think there's another question is about composite material. Well, I'm new to here. I'm new to the composite material, so maybe I cannot answer the question to you. But I know the IoT, the sensors, it can also be embedded to this composite materials. And for the structural health monitoring, that's in civil engineering, right? So we have students from civil engineering.
Yeah, I believe so. And also from electrical engineering, Prof.
Oh, electrical engineering. Okay. Yeah, because for the material study, especially for composite material, I know in the civil engineering field, yes, they do have a lot of application using the sensing device. I would recommend a very good journal. It's called Sensors. Okay, there are a lot of information you can find there. Okay. So we still have other question, right? Are those digital twins and the simulation really speed up time to market for the product development in industry? Good question. My answer is yes or no. Yes, it can speed up the time to market. But I say no, you need to have a very good infrastructure. You need to have a very good wireless communication. Okay, and the company needs to invest a lot of capitals, okay, to have this infrastructure ready, and the things will become easier. But you know, for the manufacturer, especially Taiwanese manufacturer, they are many of them are the suppliers of many international big brands, and for those big brands, they just require you to do that. Okay, if you don't do it, then you'll be out of their supplier list. That's a huge risk to them. So the Taiwanese business, okay, especially manufacturing business, they're doing a lot of work just try to, well, I would say stay alive. Okay, and in academia, we just do all we can do, okay, to help them to speed up this introduction of the infrastructure. Okay, thank you for those wonderful questions. Any other question?
Prof, is there any other service business?
Excuse me?
Is there any other service business outside the healthcare industry that you have been working on?
You mean the simulation in?
Yeah, for the simulation.
Well, actually, we have simulation everywhere, but when people talking about a simulation, sometimes they're talking the simulation in very different way. Originally, when I work with the medical industry, when I say the simulation, they are talking about the Hen-Yi. You know the Hen-Yi? It's a dummy. It's for the CPR. It's just a dummy that's you're practicing the CPR. They call it simulation. So it's very hard for me to explain the simulation to them until very recently, because I have this vaccine simulation, okay, in healthcare. They provide a specific environment called healthcare. So in that way, I can introduce the simulation, the power of simulation to them in an easier way. And also for other engineering, like for the electrical engineering or for the mechanical engineering, when they are talking about the simulation, they are talking about simulating the electrical circuit, and probably for the finite element analysis. Those are very different approach. Yeah, so simulation is being widely used in almost everywhere, in every discipline. But the idea or the definition of simulation is very different. So I would say that the way I'm using the simulation, I'm using discrete event simulation, DES. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think I represent almost all of the participants if I say we get new insight on how computer simulation is relevant. Especially nowadays, and it is interesting to see the important role. Okay, so I would like to invite the head of bachelor program in the Industrial Engineering Department, Miss Christina, to kindly give a token of appreciation.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the knowledge sharing that you gave to us, Professor Ren. And we hope we can have the future collaboration in next time. Yeah, thank you so much for this event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, that's a wonderful certificate. Thanks a lot. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Would like to also present our appreciation to Mr. Dipta.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Dipta,
Thank you very much.
for the knowledge sharing about the university. Yeah, and same to Professor Ren. We hope that we can also have the collaboration in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Miss Christina, shall we take a picture to commemorate this event?
Oh,
Or it's
course.
already done?
Not yet, not. When we have the token of appreciation on, or just the four of us, or with all of the participants. Maybe we can have the a picture for the four of us. Is it okay, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait. And yeah. Miss Renisa, can you have the picture taken?
Okay, Miss Christina, I will count 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Can you see me smiling here?
We
From
can.
your eyes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let us give a big round of virtual applause for Professor Ren as our speaker. Maybe we can use your reaction in the Zoom. Clap your hands.
Okay. I'm very thankful that I have this opportunity to participate in this webinar, okay, and sharing my knowledge with all of you. It's a great opportunity, and also on behalf of Global Affairs Office, right now I'm the Director of International Cooperation. I sincerely welcome all of you, okay. One day you have a chance to visit our university or just apply our master or PhD program, and for the professors, I really welcome you, okay, also to our university. We can become visiting scholars, and we can have all kinds of research collaboration together. I've been to Indonesia once. I really like the food and the weather there. It's a wonderful place to be. So hopefully I can visit your university in the future. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Back
thank you
then
so
it
much.
was Surabaya city, isn't it, Prof? So before we end our meeting, please fill in the questionnaire provided by us through this QR code or through the link provided on https://bit.ly feedback061221. And the e-certificate will be sent to you to the email registered in the questionnaire. And let me give you a couple of minutes to fill in the questionnaire. And shall we take a photo together, all of the participants?
Flo, can you put off the what is it, the sharing screen, please? Yeah, okay. So we have 3 screens over here. So we'll take a picture. Give your best smile. Although maybe your smile is, what is it, like under your masker? What is it? Okay. Yeah. So I will just count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait. It's just the first screen over here. Wait. Sorry, because I'm not too professional in taking picture. Wait. One more. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wait. One more. Okay, the second. One more. Keep your smile until the third screen, please. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we would like to close our seminar with a prayer.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to call upon Miss Renisa to lead us in a prayer.
Okay, thank you, Miss Florence. Dear all participants, I will lead in Christian way. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for your blessing so this webinar is been going well. Thank you for the speaker and moderator so we obtain a lot of knowledge in our life. Now we will continue to our own activity. Please always give us good health. Thank you, God. In the name of God we pray. Amen.
Finally, we come to an end. We would like to once again thank our honorable speakers for the inspiring lecture. Hopefully, this will be a fruitful event to everyone participating. Thank you for having us. Stay safe and healthy. See you on our next event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Keep
Bye.
safe and healthy. Thank you so